Hello, in this video, we will explain about the biomechanical adaptation through exercise and training. So for the adaptation, it will divide by two, acute and chronic. For the acute, it is the sudden temporary changes in body function caused by the physical exertion, and the term is acute, which the immediately occur in our body. So for the acute adaptation, it will disappear soon after the cessation of the exercise session. For the example, acute adaptation is the heart rate will faster, our breathing rate is increased to take in more oxygen. This is because our muscle is struggle to contract at a faster and more sustained pace.
So the chronic adaptation is as the body processes through days, weeks and months. The structure and the function of the body is changed to accommodate consistent workload. So the chronic adaptation is enable the body to respond more effectively, and the acute chronic also known as a long-term effect that involve adaptation and also progression. So the main adaptation is to the lung, heart, bone and also the muscle.
Okay, now I will explain about the lung adaptations in exercise training. For the first is increase lung capacity. This means lung increase the ability to expand, enabling a greater quantity of air moving out in our lungs. This is similar adaptations to the increased stroke volume in the cardiovascular system. The next is increased strength of our respiratory muscle. The diaphragm and the intercostal muscle increase in strength. This allows for greater expansion of thoracic cavity. This result is improved ability to breathe in and out for longer with less fatigue. For the aerobic trainings, it tends to improve the endurance of respiratory muscle, and for the anaerobic trainings tends to increase the size and strength for the respiratory muscle. Next, capillary in lungs. It increase number and size of capillary in the lungs over time, allowing the more blood to flow in and out of our lungs. This improve the uptake of oxygen. Then there is greater surface area for the blood to bind with the hemoglobin.
Okay, the next one is the alveoli. The number of the alveoli in the lungs will increase to enable the gas exchange to the occurs. And the sixth one is the gas exchange. The exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide improve as the gradient between each become larger. This occurs because the more oxygen used in the tissue and the more carbon dioxide produced creates a larger difference or gradient between the blood and tissues. In aerobic fitness training, tends to improve the efficiency of the body tissues absorb the oxygen and removing the carbon dioxide, while anaerobic fitness and muscular endurance training needs to improve the capacity for this exchange gas. Then the last one is increase maximum oxygen uptake, which is VO2 max. VO2 max is improved as the result of anaerobic training. It can be improved by 5 to 30%, and they can be improved as the result increase in cardiac output, increase red blood cell numbers, increase muscle and alveolar capillarization, increase gases changes, and more oxygen coming in and being used. And the last one is the greater oxygen extraction by the muscle.
Okay, next is the heart adaptation to the exercise training. The first one is the heart size. So the muscular wall of heart is increased in thickness. The second one is stroke volume. The stroke volume is considered as volume of blood pumping per stroke. So it is increased stroke volume at rest and exercise. It also increase in contractility of the heart. Next is resting heart rate. Resting heart rate is increased because during training, and also increase in heart rate recovery with training. Okay, for the first one is the cardiac output. So as the cardiac output increase during maximal exercise due to increase in stroke volume. The fifth one is blood pressure. During adaptation, blood pressure is have little change or no in at rest and with exercise. The last one is blood flow. Blood flow increase because increase in capillarization, increase in blood volume, and increase in blood redistribution to exercise muscle.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. Okay, for the muscle, we have a physical activity and muscle tendon unit. They consist of flexibility, laxity, and hypermobility. Okay, for the flexibility is the ability to move a joint through its complete range of motion, which is ROM, and it depends on muscle tendon units. Crossing joint is joint specific. Okay, so increased flexibility related to increased extensibility of connection tissue, and strength and flexibility training can promote increased range of motion. Okay, so next for the laxity. Laxity is the degree of the abnormal motion of a given joint, which is it will increase the injury risk. Okay, so next for the hypermobility, it will access ROM at a joint. Okay, so we move to the tendon adaptations. Tendon adaptation will require 2 weeks, 6 to 8 to the primary neuromuscular. Okay, so for the week 9 and above, it will gain due to increased fiber size and increased volume. Okay, for the long-term benefits, fiber change resulting in improved fatigue resistance, and it will increase relative amount of connective tissues. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, now I will tell you about bone adaptation and training. First, what is bone adaptation? During skeletal growth and development, continuously to adjust skeletal muscle and to form to changing mechanical environment. Exercise work on bone same like muscle to make it more stronger. This is because bone also a living tissue, and it change in response to the force placed upon it. Okay, there are 2 exercises that can make bone more stronger. For example, like exercise weight bearing. For example, like walking, hiking, and jogging. Another exercise is resistance training, which is we can do lifting, weightlifting. Those exercises can make our bone stronger, and if we lack in exercise, our bone will lead to osteoporosis, and more worse will lead to fracture.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning. So today I will explain to you about what is energetic. So energetic is a branch of mechanics that deal primarily with energy transformation and the total energy relation transformation of a physical, chemical, and biological system. Aim of this energetic is to describe tendencies of energy flows and storage under transformation. So next is include basal metabolic cost of maintaining body function, so goes to infinity as speed goes to 0. And then human activity's lowest cost of transport when walking about 6 km per hour, at which speed a person of 70 kg has a metabolic rate about 50 watt. And COT is least for walking but remains constant across running speed. Humans seem to adjust their walking and running gaits to minimize metabolic energy cost of locomotive. Walking speed that we tend to prefer is the one that minimize energy cost per unit distance. True, faster speed might seem affordable when time is valuable. Walking requires less energy than running. At higher speed, running is more economical. That energy cost of locomotion is a major HEM in human energy budget, usually calculated from movement of oxygen consumption.
Okay, the concept of energetic can be defined at multiple levels of analysis. First, metabolic cost. it is determined as sum of kinetic and potential energy for all limb segments as the magnitude of positive and negative work performed on center of mass, or even as the amount of braking and propulsion generated to modulated walking speed and step length. Right, next, we have perceived effort. There is an individual's perception of exertion involved in performing specific tasks. Then we have metabolic cost. That is the measured using indirect calorimetry can be used to calculate body's rate of energy use. Last but not least, metabolic power is to synthesize ATP. Right. Earlier studies attempted to link metabolic requirement of walking and running to positive mechanical power required to first raise and accelerate body's center of mass, second accelerate limb relative to center of mass. The result is there is an increased mechanical power with speed cannot fully explain simultaneous increase in metabolic cost of locomotion. And it has also led to alternative hypotheses that the time cost of generating force and cost of supporting body weight during locomotion were the major determinants of metabolic cost in running. The efficiency of mechanical power is the highest at intermediate walking speeds and increases almost linearly with running speed, and this efficiency depends on efficiency with all muscles do positive work, and this is dependent upon intrinsic force velocity and force length properties of skeletal muscle. Slower shortening velocities of muscle fibers are optimal for efficient muscular force production. Work is redistributed over distance and observe muscle width with changing locomotor speed. Speed at which efficiency is less will be associated with greater proportion of total power being provided at more simultaneous ability.
So we proceed to the optimization. Optimization is defined as the process of making something to be perfect or efficient. In other words, optimization is actually about on how we can make a full use of our body or system. Okay, for example, in a biomechanics, in order to optimize the full performance, we must make a maximal use of our biomechanical knowledge. For example, like the angular velocity, the angle joint when we throwing, and also the distance displacement and acceleration when we perform. So by do that thing, it will enhance our performance. Besides that, for optimization, we can also optimize our max performance based on the adaptation to the bones, lung, heart, and also our muscles. So this is what the optimization means.
The cause of inefficient movement. So we start with the first point is contraction. They are synonym with the generation of energy at one joint and absorption of another. That means that they have a muscle active while you are not doing anything. Let's say if you are standing, most of your leg using the same muscle, but while you are standing with one leg, also the energy go to the another muscle that not require any activation. Point is asymmetric contraction against gravity. That means extended time are utilized during limb segment being held in near asymmetric contraction. Is we go to the jerky movement. Jerky movement means that you are doing something and not smooth or unsmooth movement. Let's say you are doing bicycle, this is the smooth movement. The jerky movement is you doing like this. So I show that the unsmooth movement will give inefficient of movement.